Actors, we've all got issues, so let's talk about them. You're listening to Actors with Issues, a self-help podcast for actors, by actors. Hello, ladies, gents, and non-binary friends, and welcome back to another episode of Actors with Issues, the self-help podcast for actors, by actors. Featuring special guests from TV, film, and Broadway, we take a deep dive into the world of entertainment and discuss what it means to be an actor today. I am your host, Juan Ayala, and today's returning guest is a delightful actor and human being that you know and love from the hit CBS series Ghosts, heading into its 5th season and already renewed for a 6th. Roman Zaragoza, thank you so much for being back. Welcome back to the show.
Of course. Thanks for having me back, man. It's good to see you.
So you started what we now call the Hall of Ghosts, or the Ghosts Hall of Fame. We've had many of your wonderful co-stars on the show over the years. When you were first on the show, it was episode 37. This is episode 237, so it is 200 episodes later.
Incredible.
It's insane to think of that high number for this, but when we chatted, the Ghosts pilot was filmed, but it wasn't picked up to series yet. So it was like before this whole whirlwind of what the show has become. So like during that time period, what have you learned? What has been like your biggest takeaway from working on the show?
Oh gosh, there's so many things. Like my life has completely changed. I went from being an actor really working job to job and financially and doing mostly theater to now being a series regular on a show that's going to its 5th season. Like I feel like this has been my dream since I first thought I wanted to be an actor. So this has been incredible. But yeah, it's been a journey for sure. There's been a lot of lessons. Like I think one of the biggest ones was was something actually I heard in an interview with Ty Burrell. Oh no, no, no. It was with oh my gosh, who played his wife in Modern Family?
Oh, Julie Bowen?
Julie Bowen, yes, the amazing Julie Bowen. So she said in an interview, because she hadn't done, I think, too much comedy, but she, was an incredible, actor, and she was intimidated, especially like, having Ty, like he's just a freaking comedic genius, and she like kind of like one day like asked him for some advice and some stuff, and he said like it's all it's all fear management. And I thought that was so well said, because I think there's so many people that can do what I do, and there's so many people that are amazing actors. But there is something that happens when you get on set, and like the fear kicks in, we start to tighten, and we start to second guess everything we're doing. We're not even in the moment. Sometimes we're thinking about, oh my God, who's this actor I'm performing against? Oh my God, I'm not going to be good. Oh, it's not going to cut well. Oh, this angle's not good for me. This. And there's a certain point where you just have to manage all that fear and all of those negative emotions, and just be like, you know what? I was hired to be here. I'm gonna do my best, and I'm gonna have fun, because that's the beauty of acting too, is like enjoying and having fun. And I think for me, it took me a few seasons to get there. Season 1, I was terrified. I was like so scared every day going to work. And luckily, like, the cast and creative team, everyone made me feel so safe and so welcome, and so like, you belong to you belong here. But still that, imposter syndrome, still that like that fear, especially when you're working with just incredibly talented comedians. It's intimidating. Like I don't identify as a comedian, but I'm a comedic actor in addition to being a dramatic actor. I'm from theater. I've done TV and film for sure throughout my career, but a lot of my career was on the stage, and doing a lot of different work with musicals and comedies and drama, Shakespeare, and all of that has 100% translated into the show, which has been so beautiful to see and feel. So yeah, there's so many things that I've learned, but fear management is definitely a big one. And feeling ready, like doing the work outside of outside of the show and making sure that I feel ready and then just go and play. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's been amazing. I feel very lucky to be working with such supportive, collaborative, wonderfully talented and kind human beings.
Sadly, that's not always the case. You know, like you hear certain casts say that they're like such a family and there is that beautiful, wonderful dynamic of like collaboration. And then unfortunately, there are experiences where people don't always get along. And it's so refreshing to hear that this is one of those situations where it is such a wonderful group of people. Like, again, having interviewed about half of the cast at this point, everyone just seems so grateful and happy to be part of such like a warm environment and all of that. Um, and during the last few years between our initial interview and now, you also finished school. You got your degree. So what was that sort of thing? What was that whole juggling, working, and still sort of finishing that? Um,
Yeah.
you're getting your degree in directing or in filmmaking, or what was it
Yeah, yeah.
exactly?
In film, yeah,
Yeah.
film production. So that was like writing, directing, producing for the most part for my emphasis. It was great. So actually I got my degree in May. I like graduated in end of May of 2021. And then we went to start shooting season one of July of 2021. So there was like I got a month off and then I went to work. But it was pretty wild. I shot the pilot. We shot the pilot in December of 2020.
Mm.
And the week that we shot the pilot was my finals week for my
Oh gosh.
first semester back at college because I
Yeah.
took 3 years off and I wanted to finish college in the pandemic. So I went back. And that first semester back, the finals week just happened to land on the week that I shot the pilot of Ghosts. I was living in Oregon at the time and I drove down. I had to drive because it was COVID. They didn't want me to fly. There was like not enough time to like quarantine. So I drove down over 2 days. I stopped at my cousin's house in Northern California, got to LA, did a COVID test, waited a day, and then was on set that next day. And during that whole time, I was yeah, I was like writing essays. I remember there was a few nights for Ghosts where like I would wrap at maybe like 10 p.m. because we had like a long day, and I would go home and like just write an essay until maybe 2 in the morning,
Wow.
and then had to be up at like 5:30 the next day and had a full day. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be tired this week, but that's okay. It's one week. Next week I can sleep. It's fine. And it was pretty intense. And I ended up talking to one of my professors, like I think a year later at our senior showcase for our film, my senior thesis film. And she's like, I found out that you shot the pilot during our finals week. I would have given you an extension. And I was like, oh, now I know. I didn't know to even ask for an
Yeah.
extension. I didn't even know to like reach out to any of my professors. I think there was like one professor was like, I literally can't be there because we're shooting a TV show. Can I like take the test later? And she was really cool with it. But there was a few that were some of these online courses that I took that it's not even in person. So it was just like
Mm.
weekly you had to finish these things.
Yeah.
And one of them was like due on a Thursday and we're shooting till Friday. And I was like, I gotta do it. So that was pretty stressful, but I was really proud of myself to finish my degree. I didn't think I was gonna finish my degree. I left school after my junior year because I got the opportunity to go work at this place called the Oregon Shakespeare Festival,
Mm.
and I was an actor there for 3 seasons. And it was an incredible experience, opportunity, and time of my life. But it made me take time off from school, and but yeah, I'm so grateful I was able to go back and finish.
Yeah. Yeah, the pandemic sort of became that time period for folks to like finish something that they had stopped for a bit, or in cases like me with the show, I had wanted to do a podcast for such a long time, and then COVID happened. I was like, great, I finally have the time to do it. Because beforehand, I was, burnt out to bits with so much going on. Um, because that's back when auditions were in person, so it's like I'm going in and out of Manhattan and whatnot to try and get all that done.
Mhm.
And what we have are sort of usual. We ask this every episode, sort of like the $1 million question, because it's what young actors ask about on forums, on Facebook groups, and all of that. It's like post college, post conservatory. They're like, okay, I have my degree, or I have all of this wonderful training and technique, and I know how to be an actor. I know how to act. But then there's the whole business side of things that maybe they'll do a workshop, maybe they'll do a course, but it's not a huge focus on sort of an actor's education, unfortunately. And there's so much still to be learned about like things on set and how to handle the business side, finances, all of that. So, what advice do you have for a young actor who's like in that sort of post college time period where they maybe feel a little stuck, like they're not really sure how to get the ball rolling on their career?
Yeah, it's honestly such a tough question. But the biggest advice I always give is there's no one way to do this. Like thinking about the whole cast of Ghosts, we all had such different trajectories. Actually, some people had very similar trajectories. Like if you want to get into like comedy, go do improv. Improv is such a great way. It translates so well into like the work we do.
Mm,
Like go, of course, take like a script analysis class, but like improv is a pretty good um like trajectory to get to comedy and sitcoms and things.
mm,
Of course, like yeah, there's so many other factors. But I think that's something I first like to tell people. Like there's not one way to do this. Um, but but also like listen to what is is responding to you. I
mm,
think there's two avenues here. Listen to what you respond to and listen to what's responding to you. Like for me, I really wanted to do musical theater after high school. I applied to UCLA's musical theater program. That's where my sister went. My oldest sister went there for musical theater. So I knew some of the professors. I felt like I was a shoo-in. I felt really good, and I had a fairly big head at the time, like being a 17-year-old. But long story short, I didn't get into UCLA, and it kind of really changed my 5 and 10 year plans uh, and I noticed that like musical theater wasn't responding to me as much as I was maybe responding to it.
mm,
But there was like the underlying aspect of it that I loved was the acting, and I loved theater, and I loved being on stage. So that led to me doing a lot more like plays with music or just straight
mm,
plays. And so I started working at a theater company in LA, and that really saved me. And I think like finding a theater company is huge. Like if you can find a place that feels like home, like try different places out, audition for different theater companies, do readings of plays, meet people,
mm,
and that because that one person that you're gonna meet is gonna like you, and then they're gonna introduce you to this other friend who's doing another play and this play and that workshop and this and I think like that would be my advice is like get involved in the theater community wherever you are. Like,
mm,
you know, it's not just New York, LA. There's theaters, regional theaters all over the
yeah.
country. And there's such a good way of getting like feeling community and honing your craft. And then also I'll add like just get auditioning, get used to auditioning. I think
Yeah.
that was the big thing that when I was when I was like 18, at the point of being 18, at that time, I had already probably auditioned, geez, close to 500 times throughout my childhood.
Mm,
Like I started auditioning before I could even remember, like five, six, seven, going in for TV shows in New York, like Third Watch, Law and Order, and all these things, and didn't necessarily book too much growing up, but I got so used to auditioning. I got so used to like
Mhm.
one, getting told no, and two, being in a really awful room and trying to do these scenes. And like, of course, like self tapes too. I got so used to doing self tapes. So like get used to that muscle of it and don't take it personally. I think that's like another big key. So like I think the biggest things is yeah, theater, um, and just audition and find community and listen to what responds to you. If people are like, "Oh my gosh, your voice is amazing," be like, "Awesome, I have a really good voice. Okay, cool. Do I love singing? I also love singing. Maybe I can do a musical, or maybe I could do this." And
Mhm.
well, I'm an amazing dancer. Oh, okay, cool. Maybe I'll do more movement and get into like
Mhm.
movement stuff. And there's so many things. There's not just one avenue for acting too. Like I think there is sometimes like one lucrative financial
Yeah.
avenue, but there are so many avenues. Like I was really getting into the regional theater world where it doesn't pay nowhere as much as film and TV, but you can make a living
Mhm.
fully off your art and do regional theater. And I was so happy. I did it for like 4 or 5 years of just doing theater and it was some of the best time of my life.
I'm a big believer in like um, the law of attraction. So it's like what you put out there is what will come back. And um, yeah, I feel like there have been quite a few actors who have sort of their careers didn't pan out the way that they expected, but they still met success in another genre or whatever. So many actors who, never thought they'd be a horror icon end up becoming a horror icon. I don't think Jamie Lee Curtis expected to become a scream queen, but here she is, 50 years into a career and sort of the definitive final girl and things like that. And I'm curious with sort of like career obstacles and things like that. Has there been anything? I remember our last conversation, we talked about imposter syndrome and audition anxiety, which is always like the big two that everybody deals with, especially pre-COVID and going in person and the rush of getting there and all of that. Now with tapes, it's a bit more in our control. But does anything come to mind, maybe in the last few years, that has been sort of like a growing pain of adjusting to series regular life? Was that there's like big lifestyle changes or a routine that you had to maybe get used to? Anything come to mind?
Oh gosh, well, so many things have changed. For one, I don't audition a lot anymore.
Hmm.
I don't have time to audition. But I did do an audition, I think about like 5 months ago, and it was so much dialogue. And I remember being like, "Oh my God, I can't do this. This is crazy." But then I was like, you know what? And we were shooting at the time too. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna challenge myself. I'm gonna memorize this. I'm gonna do it. And I did. I was like really impressed. It was like some military movie, so it was like the Blackbird is this and blah 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 blah, like, like the
Orders and
SEAL
commands.
Team SEAL Team 32 and all this stuff. And it was, of course, I didn't get it. I knew exactly who was gonna get the role. I was like, this is not for me, but I'm gonna audition for it because it's a good people to get in front of. Um, but uh but yeah, like life changes. Yeah, life has changed so much. We shoot go 7 months out of the year, and then the other 5 months I get to kind of live in New York and travel a lot. I do and now I sit on the board of directors for this organization called Outlast Arts and Education. I just joined the board for that, and we're fundraising, and so I'm like doing a lot of new stuff that I've always wanted to do as well, of like getting involved in nonprofits and giving back to communities. And so that's been a really fun thing of like, oh, cool. I have the time and I guess yeah, the time and the finances to help yeah, fund the next generation of artists. And so I've been trying to do that. And this next week I'm going to go teach in Ashland, Oregon at my friend's native youth it's like a all around camp, but they're they're really focusing on acting this year. It's like an arts
Mhm.
camp, but they're focusing on acting this year and directing. And so I'm going to be a guest teacher there. It's called Conaway. So I'm just trying. It's like the beauty of being able to do all these other things that maybe I haven't been able to do.
Mhm.
And when you're an actor and you're kind of like, I can't commit to anything because like I might have to go do a show for four
Yeah.
months, this and that and that. So that's been beautiful. And then also just like getting to find like moments of relaxation and being like, you know what, like this is so unheard of for actors to feel secure. And I feel like we finally feel a little secure because we got picked up for two more seasons.
Yeah.
Who knows after that what life's going to be like, but at least I want to just sit in this security right now and be like, this is the most, this is the most like notice I've gotten of work.
Yeah.
I've always been year to year, like
Yeah.
since I started my career, even doing theater, like working at the Oregon Shakespeare Festival, we would only find out like every year if we were coming back.
Mhm.
This was same thing with Ghosts. We would find out when one season was ending shooting, we'd find out if the next season was happening. And so to know that like we've have two more seasons at least, it's just like I'm just trying to sit in that
Yeah.
for a little bit, just trying to sit in the security for just a smidge of time and enjoy my life. I think that's been a huge thing is just trying to enjoy my life more. And um, that's been a big change. I'm someone who puts a lot of pressure on myself to always be like ready for something.
Yeah.
As an actor, that's such a common thing where like I want to feel ready to to audition for a Marvel film. I want to feel ready to be in a musical. I want to feel ready to do Broadway. I want to feel ready to do all these things. And so what does that mean? Staying in shape. What does that mean? Not drinking. What does that mean?
Mhm.
This. So many things. Like I'm not going to travel. I'm not going to do this.
Yeah.
And that was a big part of my life. And then I booked Ghosts and have had this bit of security where I can take a breath and I can go out with my friends some nights. I can lose my voice and feel okay. Like for like if I go out one night, I go travel a little bit. I can go see my family and not feel like, oh, I need to be in New York and auditioning. So
Yeah.
there's this like incredible beauty that comes with security in all facets of life. I think safety and security is like a very underrated thing.
Yeah. It's funny because in that's really some people actors obviously not many sort of seek fame or fortune, but sort of security is like I'd like to make a living only from acting or not have to worry about when the next job comes in. Yeah, I mean, congrats on the two-season pickup. I was so happy to see that, like, because Ghosts. It's for me. It's Ghosts, Matlock, and Abbott Elementary are like the three shows that I watch week to week. Like
Um,
genuinely, like there's so few on broadcast that I'm like I need to like catch up. And Drag Race, duh. But that's like
of course,
only a
of
few
course.
months out of the year. That's not like all year round or uh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
6 9 months of the year. Um, but yeah, I was just so happy for all of you to see that, and because I think that the show is you guys have a great audience and great reviews and all of that, but I'm like, why is no one talking about Ghosts? This is such a good show. It just feels underrated. Mind you, there's like a gazillion shows to keep up with and platforms and all of that. But yeah, I love the show so much since it first came out, and it's just been so consistently funny and charming. And you guys have just killed it. I'm so happy that it's continuing, and you guys are gonna reach that beautiful syndication number of 100 plus.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. Hopefully, like syndication can still happens. I don't know. We'll see. It's such a changing climate
Yeah,
of TV and streaming and all that stuff. But who knows? So we'll see. But yeah, we're
yeah,
definitely hitting 100 during season 6, so that's
yeah,
pretty cool. That's gonna be pretty cool.
yeah. And before we wrap up, we always like to end with a game, as you may remember. But we have a few different options now. They used to be rapid fire. People used to panic. I used to put a timer. They'd hate it. So we have three different games. So just pick a number, one, two, or three, and we will pick from there.
Three. Love three.
All right, three is it's time for life's big questions. So
Mm.
if you could ask, we start with the easy one. If you could have any superpower, which would you choose?
Oh gosh, this has changed a lot. I've thought about this a lot recently. This has changed a lot. I feel like when I was a kid, it was so much about like invisibility for some reason. I was like, oh, I want to like that, or I want to be Spider-Man or something. But now, like, I just want to be able to teleport. I want to be able to
Same.
teleport. You know what I mean? Like, of course, like, yeah, I'd probably have to use that for good and fight evil and all this stuff. But also, man, I just want to teleport to be like, let me go see my parents for a little bit, and then I'm gonna come home real quick. Let me go
Right.
see my girlfriend. Let me go hang out with my friends. Let me go see that person. Let me go like, let me just like go to Thailand and go train some Muay Thai real quick, and then like be home for dinner. Like that would be amazing. That would be the dream, you know.
Yeah.
So I think teleportation would be pretty sick.
What's funny is that when so that's also my answer. Teleportation is like number one always. Not just for like travel, but I also have the actor's mindset. I'm like, you'd be like a global local hire. You just teleport to wherever you're shooting and then
Oh my
teleport back home.
God.
The
Oh,
cheapest hire. You don't have to put me up anywhere. You don't gotta fly me out. I don't gotta quarantine if God for let's
that's
hope that.
perfect.
But yeah,
Yes. You can sleep in your own bed every night. Like,
exactly.
oh, that would be oh nice. Yeah, because like the reality is I haven't had a long lease in any place
Hmm.
for the last throughout my whole adult life. I have
Hmm.
not had a lease longer than a year because I've moved every year. Even in
Hmm.
college, I like moved apartments and this, and then I worked in Oregon, and I'd move every year. Even though I would stay in Oregon, I like have to move out and then move back, move out, move back.
Yeah.
Montreal, same thing. We're year to year. So like I would get a lease for 7 months, and then I would get a place in New York for 5 months, and then 7 months and 5 months.
Yeah.
And so like that would be so nice if I could just have one apartment and I could just live in that apartment and then I go teleport to work, teleport home. Dream. That
Yeah.
sounds great.
If you weren't working in the arts, what would you do for a living?
Oh man, that's such a hard question. Um, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a firefighter. That was like a big one. Uh, I grew up in New York, and our building was connected to a fire station. So definitely want to be a firefighter. But at this day and age, I weirdly I love math. I feel like I would be like a math teacher,
Mhm.
or I don't know. Accountants make a lot of money. Maybe be accountant or be a politician. I don't know. Something. It's so hard. That's hard. It's
Yeah.
a good question.
It's funny. The question used to be if you weren't an actor, what would you do for a living? And people would be like, "Oh, I'd be like a writer." I'm like, that doesn't count.
It
That's
doesn't
too
count.
adjacent.
You got to be out of the arts for sure.
Yeah.
That's a good question. I feel like I would love to, I'm also like such a community leader kind of person. So,
Hmm.
like start my own nonprofit kind of vibes
Yeah.
or yeah, just be some kind of community leader too.
Hmm.
So,
If you had to go on for any role in a musical with a week's notice, what show do you know like the back of your hand to do that?
oh, like on Broadway right now or like any show?
Any, like someone calls you up and they're like, "Hey, we know you love this show, and we need, our lead is out, our understudy's sick."
I could do Usnavi and In the Heights for sure. Yeah. I did that in college and I feel like it's still there. I feel like it's
Yeah.
still yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like roles like that just uh it's like riding a bike. It's like especially with a week, like if you have a week to get into it, it's like, you
Oh,
can snap back in
totally.
quickly.
Oh, if I had a week, easy. Like I feel like that would just be for the blocking, but I got
Right.
the up on Washington Heights up at the break of day. I wake
Right.
up and I got a little punk I gotta chase away. Like, yeah, it's there. It's there.
Yeah. What is your favorite way to consume art? Movie going, TV watching, concerts, museums.
Theater. Yeah,
Mm.
seeing theater for sure. I love movies, TV, I love that, but seeing live theater, nothing like it. It's my
Mm.
favorite.
If you haven't caught Death Becomes Her, put that on your list. It is
Yeah, I need to see that.
amazing,
Oh, I heard it. I heard it's
incredible. We had Sarita Colon, who's in the ensemble, on the pod, and she was delightful. And the show is just so damn funny. Like I have not laughed that hard since seeing Oh Mary, but I saw that off Broadway like a year ago, or a year and a half ago. That's another one if you have time to see that. It's
I know I've been trying to
genius.
see Oh Mary. I know I've been trying to see it. I gotta go.
What movie or TV show reminds you most of your childhood?
Oh, my TV show movies of my childhood. Um, ooh, God, that's so hard. There's got to be some like New York. I don't know. First thing that comes to my mind, it's not, but the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Oh yeah,
Just because the Joe's Pizza that he worked at was the one that I grew up going to.
yeah. Oh no
So
way.
I literally was like, I'm Spider-Man. Like
Yeah.
I am Spider-Man. That's a good one to think about. I'm going to continue to think about that, but that would be my answer for now.
What existing TV show would you love to join the cast of, and in what kind of role?
Existing TV show would I love to join the cast of? Jeez, there's so many. Um, Existing, I literally was gonna say like Peaky Blinders, but that's not on the air anymore.
Isn't that coming back though? Are they doing a movie or something?
I think they were supposed to do doing a movie. I don't know if it's ever happening, but that would be, oh
Folks are
man,
busy. Yeah.
that would never be on that show, but that was such a
Never
dream
know.
show.
They'll write
Like
it
a
in.
complete different, like complete 180 from Ghosts, and I'm just like talking about this. Yeah, Utopia. Like that would be so fun. What's another good show? What's another show that I watched? Um, I watched so many. Oh, any like Star Wars show, like Andor, that would be sick. Like
Oh, so good.
I would love to do an Andor. Yeah, anything like that.
Yeah. After a long week of filming, what do you do to unwind and recover?
Oh man, I'm a spa day kind of guy. There's this spa on a boat in Montreal called Boda Boda. And sometimes, and there's so many reasons why I love it. One of the biggest reasons is that there's no cell reception and you're not allowed to have your phones. So
Word.
I just like disconnect. I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
gone, no one can reach me. And then I'll just like go there by myself or with a friend. And sometimes I'll get a massage and I'll just like chill out in the pools and the saunas and that for like hours.
Mhm.
That's my way of like resetting.
Yeah. And what is your favorite performance that you've seen live?
Oh, that's so hard. I will say I saw Cynthia Erivo in the last week of doing Color Purple.
Yeah.
That she brought me to my knees. It was wild.
Yeah.
She was absolutely incredible. Um, yeah, I'd probably say her. What's another one that I saw recently? I've seen some thing. What did I see? I just saw Floyd Collins, like Jeremy Jordan,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
a master class. But Cynthia Erivo, yeah, there's something that she did on that stage. And it was like the final week, and hearing her sing "I'm Here," I was like, whew, that
Yeah.
was
She got
so
the
hard.
Tony for very good reason.
Oh, she
That's
deserved. I
incredible.
was like, I would be pissed. I'd be so pissed
Right.
if she didn't win that. I would be like, no, 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 no. She deserves.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's a fun one to think about too. I've seen some really cool. I've been really lucky to see some cool performers. Also, I saw Chapel Roan last year. Like
Or
she was
yeah.
awesome. So it's so hard. That's so tough. I love live performance. I think that's with all the stuff with AI and everyone afraid. I'm like, you AI can't do live performance. Like
Yeah.
there's something about having a person and you're connecting with that person. Like is always going to be here. Theater's been here for time millennium, so like it's going to be here. And yeah.
Yeah. And lastly, in 10 words or less, what advice would you give to a young actor?
Don't forget to play and enjoy and enjoy. Don't forget, I've been counting the syllables. Don't forget to play and enjoy the journey, my friend.
Awesome. Roman, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us and to come back on the show today. Really, really appreciate it. And again, congrats on Ghost. I mean, it's one of my favorites, and I'm just, again, so happy that the show is continuing. And yeah, just y'all are such a great group of people that, couldn't be happier. So thank you.
Well, I appreciate it. And so great always talking to you. You're such a great interviewer. So this has been so fun, man. Yeah, to many more.
All right. Thank you, buddy.
Thanks for joining us. Actors with Issues is hosted and produced by Juan Ayala. If you enjoyed today's episode, subscribe to our YouTube channel or on the podcast platform you're listening to. Visit actorswithissues.com for exclusive news and reviews, and give us a follow on Instagram and TikTok at Actors with Issues.